So I came out here to check my crankshaft position sensor, and the first thing I noticed is that it, as you can see, is bloody zip tied. So I hadn't noticed that before. So I'm gonna take this apart, and then I have my meter to test while I crank. So hopefully I can get this and pull it up far enough that I can both look at my meter and crank the engine at the same time. So I'll go ahead and take a look at this here in just a moment, but I wanted just to show you guys that first it's zip tied. So I don't know who did that. It doesn't feel too brittle, so it's not too old. You know, the plastic on these gets so brittle so quickly. So I'm gonna take that off and then test it. Alright, so I've got it unplugged. I took that ridiculous zip tie off. Not quite sure which is which as far as negative and positive with which is which. So I'm just going to hook them up one way, test it, swap them. And here's my cheap meter. Still is AC volts. So that's what I got it turned to. So we'll go ahead and give that a crank and see what the results are. Sorry this is in so many different short clips, but from this I switched them. The first crank got nothing. There was no reading on my meter at all. Didn't move the slightest bit. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it. Or I've already switched it, excuse me, I've already changed it so that the negative and positive are reversed, being jammed in there. And we'll go ahead and crank it over again. Alright, so just to show you, I've switched them both ways. I'm on AC, and I've done it both ways, and I'll show you what happens when I crank. And nothing. So I definitely think my crankshaft position sensor is dead, unless I'm doing this incorrectly. If I'm doing this incorrectly, let me know, and I'll retest with correct steps. Thanks.